So, do you got a steady hand? Are you a good artist on pencil and paper? Well, I'm going to show you a little bit more about how the brush works. So, and the pencil tool a little bit. So, let's go to Start from Scratch. And I'm just going to show you how you can control the brush a little bit, the basics of the brush, and you're going to use it a lot to touch up little pieces of photos and stuff, or to start from scratch and just pick the defaults here. Or in creating your own pieces of art. So, if you go over here to the brush tool, make sure the brush tool and not the pencil or the color replacement tool are selected. Make sure this is selected. And now you choose the type of brush you want. I think we've gone through this a little bit before, but you notice how some of these brushes have faded edges, others are more solid, like this one. Just scroll through the list. This is more of a dry brush look, a faded dry brush. Then you have different patterns you can brush with, which are really cool. Alright, so let's just pick one of the solid ones up here. And these little numbers are the pixel size, which you can adjust, so don't think you're set to that thickness. So double click, and then here's where you'd adjust your pixel size. So let's try this, see how big it is. So that's the first part. That's the very simple way of drawing with the brush, or painting with the brush. Now, I'm going to show you how you can go to more options with the brush. Just go over here to the more options and click on it. Wow. It's actually the brush itself, not the lettering more options. And now you have a lot of different options you can play with, because these are what is adjusted to get these presets up here. So you can create your own type of brush style. So let's say you wanted the let's see the hardness. Let's go and bring the hardness down and seeing how that affects the brush. See how it's a little more faded and not as hard as that? It's like you have to paint a little bit more. Let's go back again. Let's make the fade come up and let's see what that looks like. Not much of a difference in this case. Spacing, let's bring that up. You see what that does? So I'm holding it down as I'm doing this. This could create a very interesting effect. You could create your own background with this, almost like a spray can. So obviously the spacing was very low here, which is, the space would be so little between the dots that it's a solid line basically. Let's bring the hue jitter up. Well, I brought the spacing back down. Let's bring the hue jitter up and we'll see what that does. See the jitter in the lines? Almost as if a brush is actually, you see little ripples in the brush. Let's bring this up a little bigger so you can see it better. See that? And you see like little ripples, almost like real brush strokes would bring. And now let's bring the scatter up. See what that does. See, so I'm pressing here, but it's scattering around where I press. That's what the scatter does. So this would be useful in creating a neat pattern for a background. See how that works? And then angle and roundness, you can mess around with that also. So those are just the basics of brush operation. You're going to have a lot of fun, like I said, with these ones down here. The dry brushes, as well as these patterns here, like this one. Let me pick this one. It's like a leaf pattern. I'm going to reset the defaults to black. I'm going to paint a little bit with this. I'm going to actually try to paint over the sections where I was originally drawing. Look at that. Very interesting. Little tiny leaves. So, you're going to have a lot of fun with the brush once you experiment with the different presets in here, and then your options within. So, have fun. I think I showed you this before, but there are options within here that you can look at. It gives you a thumbnail is what we're looking at now, but this is kind of like the swatches where you can choose a different way to view it. Small thumbnail, text only, small list, large list. Same idea as the color swatches. You can load brushes, and so on and so forth. I don't think there's any more. No, there are other special brush effects. All sorts of cool ones in here. Definitely a good buy for your money. Enjoy.